We head now to the great state of North Carolina, where Michael Whatley is engaged in the campaign to become the next senator to represent the state of North Carolina. We had you on, I know for sure, in Milwaukee right after President Trump survived his assassination attempt. I'm not sure if we've had you on since then. So first, let me say congratulations on an incredibly well-done job in the 2024 election on behalf of the Republican National Committee and getting everything done there. And now, tell us about the campaign that you are embarking upon in North Carolina.
Well, it's very exciting. I mean, the opportunity to be the next senator from the great state of North Carolina and fight every single day for every single community and every single family and, be an ally for President Trump and make sure that we are moving that great state and our entire country forward.
What is your expectation for what this campaign is going to look like? Expectations are, I think it's basically written in stone, that Roy Cooper is going to be the Democrat nominee. He's been elected statewide before. Tom Tillis is a Republican senator that is stepping down, so this is an important seat given the 53-47 current balance in the Senate. I said it's probably going to be the most expensive race in 2026. You're going to have to raise a lot of money. You're going to be running around like crazy. What should people know about this race, both in North Carolina and outside?
Well, look, you are absolutely right. It's going to be the most expensive Senate race in the country, so we're going to need everybody to go to WhatleyForSenate.com and make sure that they contribute and they support. We're looking in excess of $500-600 million. I think will be spent all in on that race, and it is the marquee Senate race in the entire country because it's going to be a big hold for the Republicans in a very purple state. North Carolina is a 50-50 state. President Trump managed to win by 3.2% in this last election cycle. And when we have a fully informed electorate, we're going to be in a good position to hold that race. But, Roy Cooper did win 2 times in a row, so we know that he's going to bring a ton of money to the race, and it's going to be competitive. But when people sit back and really, truly think about what they want for the state, they want a strong economy, they want safe kids and communities, and they're really going to want to make sure that our military bases are getting what they need to protect our interests and allies around the world, and our vets are getting the support that they need for having done that over the course of their careers. So I am in a much better position than Roy Cooper to work with the president and make sure that we're going to deliver for North Carolina and really, truly move that state forward.
I'm sure you've seen it, but this is something that really strikes me. I live next door in Tennessee. Roy Cooper, I saw a viral video of him several months ago where he was asked whether men should be able to compete in women's sports, and he ran from answering it. He actually has tried to support it on some levels. Even though he got elected, isn't he really culturally out of step with the average North Carolinian?
He is. He vetoed 3 different bills that would keep boys out of girls' sports. So this guy is definitely out of step with the state. I think that if you look at his votes when he was a state legislator, you look at his vetoes, it is basically safe to say he's going to fight harder every day for, tax hikes, and he's going to fight for boys and girls sports, and he's going to fight to take away your pickup trucks. And on the other hand, I don't think that's really where the state is. That's certainly not where I am. I'm going to fight for a very strong economy, safe kids, safe schools, and really making sure that we are going to be in a position to move that state forward.
How are things going in western North Carolina after Hurricane Helene? Obviously, the timing of this storm right in the middle of a major election calendar cycle like it was in 24 helped to bring a spotlight to it, but the Biden administration's response was frankly indefensible over the weeks and months after there. I flew into Asheville. I saw it myself. How are things now?
Things are better, and honestly, we've had story after story after story that have come out basically saying that between Joe Biden, FEMA, and Roy Cooper, they were nowhere to be found after that storm hit on September 27th. And it wasn't until January 20th when Donald Trump came into office and said, we are going to take care of North Carolina. He asked me to help make sure that we got the resources into the state to be able to help them. And since then, we have seen billions of dollars that is going, from the federal government to homeowners, to small business owners, and to the local governments to make sure they're getting the relief that they want. And, President turned around and asked me to serve on a FEMA reform commission to be able to review FEMA and make sure that the response that we saw from the federal and state governments last year never happens again.
President Trump won North Carolina 2016, 2020, 24. You were instrumental in all three of those wins in the state. Why do you think he has had such appeal in North Carolina, and how do you think he will impact next year's midterm election?
What Donald Trump does better than anybody else in our lifetime is he listens to the voters, understands the issues that they care about, and puts solutions on the table. And so, he has been completely in sync with North Carolina voters who want to see a strong economy, want to see safe communities, and really, truly want America to be the best country in the world. And that's what he's putting on the table. He's delivering every day. Today is 200 days into his term, and you can just see that this is the most transformative, term in our lifetime, really. I mean, it's remarkable what he has been able to do in just 200 days and set us up on a track because he's delivering on the promises that he made. So the voters of North Carolina trust him. They voted for him. They're going to listen to him. And coming in as a Trump-endorsed candidate in this race gives me a tremendous leg up. It's not just in the primary, but it's in the general where I'm going to be facing off against Roy Cooper because the voters really like that America First agenda, and we're going to make sure that we deliver for North Carolina first.
It's 15 months roughly until the actual midterm election day. What does a 15-month campaign look like from your perspective?
Well, look, I mean, as the state party chair, I went to every single county, all 100 North Carolina counties every year. And I got a chance to meet with people in every single community. I think you need to do that. I think you need to be out there. I think you need to have the conversations. North Carolina is an amazingly diverse state. We have the second largest banking center in the entire country. We have ag and agribusiness are the number one business for North Carolina is farming. We also have rural communities, and we have Charlotte and Raleigh. So it is a state where you're going to have to go out and talk to every single community. And I think that we're going to take a lot of time to do that. We're also going to have to make sure that we have the resources there to go out and tell our story all day, every day. And it's just going to be a matter of working every single day so that people in the state know, that you listen to them, you understand what they care about, and you're putting solutions on the table.
Look, we're willing, able to help you as much as we possibly can. I know it's going to be a big battle over the next 15 months. Just let us know when you need to come on, when we can help, because like you just said, that $500 or $600 million bill for this race, it's going to be almost impossible to escape.
Yeah, it really is, and I appreciate that. You guys, you have such a good finger on the pulse. And your listeners all across this country know exactly what we're talking about when we say that there are two visions for America in this country right now. The Democrats are absolutely going hardcore straight left. They haven't learned a thing from the 2024 election cycle. They're doubling down on stupid. The Democratic agenda right now is open borders, inflationary spending, and a weak America. That's where Roy Cooper lives. That is his ideological center, is far left, and that's not what North Carolina needs. So we're going to need every one of your listeners to go to WhatleyForSenate.com, make a contribution, join the movement, and make sure we keep that seat red, and that Donald Trump is going to have an ally in the Senate, and North Carolina is going to have a champion in the Senate.
We got your back. We appreciate you. Let us know how we can help in the next 15 months.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
That's Michael Whatley, who we hope is the next senator from North Carolina. We'll take some of your calls. We'll get some of your talkbacks, some of your emails when we come back. In the meantime, I want to tell you, I mentioned it. I've got 3 boys, 17, 14, 10 years old. When we had our first kid, I didn't know what to expect, but I wanted to make sure that if something, God forbid, happened to me, that kid was going to be taken care of. And I bet that a lot of you out there, dads, moms, grandmas, grandpas, have had the same thoughts as you have looked at your younger family members. Maybe you're out there every single week, it feels like every month, holiday season, trying to mediate the disputes that go on in your family. Everybody out there knows what that feeling's like. Hey, who can sit at the same table? Hey, are we even going to go to the same place? Have you thought about what your family will do when you're not there to solve all the problems? When you're not there to be the peacemaker? Have you thought about who's going to argue? Have you thought about who's going to get in screaming matches? Couldn't you maybe do something to try to keep that from happening? The answer is yes. It's a will and a trust. And I know that can sound a little bit intimidating, and maybe it's not the greatest thing to think about, but if you think about it in the context of trying to solve family problems, and if you think about it in the context of trying to keep your kids and grandkids, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles from all fighting over what you might want if you weren't there, why not just control that and tell them exactly what you want? That's the purpose of a trust and a will. It's why I have one. It's why I think you should have one. You can do it without even having to have a lawyer. It doesn't have to be crazy expensive. Just go to trustandwill.com and use my name, Clay. You get 20% off, and they'll walk you right through the process to make decisions to make things better for you and your family when you're not there to keep them from all fighting, arguing, and frankly, maybe not even knowing what you would want to happen after you are gone. Make it clear at trustandwill.com/Clay. That's my name, Clay, for 20% off. trustandwill.com/Clay.